because it's the silly, stupid, fascinating, weird, wonderful. They're my people, and more often than not, they're the geeky people as well.
I mentioned Betamax. For anybody older, that's the old version of a video cassette. Video cassette is an old version of a DVD. A DVD is not set on the cloud. Hello, welcome to another episode of Faith and Geekery. My name is Mark, and this is
Becca!
Hey, we finally remembered our names.
We did. We didn't even practice.
No, I know. I was trying to catch you out. Not really. How are you doing, Becca? You all right?
I'm marvellous. Yes, I am very good, actually. Thank you. My ears are just looking out.
Ah, yes. Trusted ear things. Have you been up to anything geeky in the last over the last week or otherwise?
I'm trying to think what I've been doing. I've been moving pixels around as usual. I do have my repetitive strain injury from my geekiness in that. But
is that pixels as in Blender or pixels as in pixels?
Pixels as in Second Life pixels. So I've been doing pixelated gardening. It is autumn now, and that involves, turning the trees orange and then removing scripts so that you don't get a load of lag and people complain that they can't take pretty pictures because your trees are so laggy. Complicated.
I'll nod at that point. Oh, cool. That's cool. It's you say.
That's like the opposite of a geek nod, isn't it? It's kind of, you get that someone is being strangely passionate about what it is. But you're not quite there.
I was after the clarity of what it is of the strips. Do you say you're getting rid of the strips?
Scripts.
So,
yeah. So if you have a pixelated tree, you can set it up to automatically change into an autumnal beautiful tree. But because the script is within the tree, it can slow down your whole simulated landscape. Instead, what I do is delete a tree and put in another tree with the scripts in, so it goes to autumn, and then delete the scripts again. It's a little tedious, especially when
I get it now, and that makes more sense than strips. Because
I've not been stripping. No, there's been no pixelated stripping.
No, I was just meant to strip. Oh, okay. I wasn't referring to that, but that's good. What have we got? A nod of a church parishioner who wants to understand. Yes,
exactly. Thank you, Tim.
And usually, if you're chatting to me in my ministerial role, there is a lot of that kind of look. So,
you kind of slightly glaze over.
What else is there? Can I be geeky about fountain pens? I've refilled mine this week. Yeah, of course you can be geeky about fountain pens, David. That's really cool. Oh, and Lydia, who is going to be on in a little while, will be here in a moment. But first and foremost, and folks, please do be sharing your geeky gallery. If you're part of the Discord community, join that. The description's in the blurb. And we're going to come next to Geeky News. Hello, welcome to Geeky News. What have we got today, Becca? Do you know?
No. You definitely didn't rehearse that.
No, we didn't, did we? So I want to start off with Ep.23, which is a crochet thing. Ep.23's new blanket has kind of hit the shelves today. I know this because someone in our household is getting it for Christmas, and I had to order it.
I think you understand this surprise thing, Mark.
Oh, the thing is,
He knows
she's
now.
not watching. She's not watching, and I don't think she will. So I get it. So yeah, it's a Attic 24 blanket, and every year they release one around this time of year, and basically they then do like a stitch along in January, so you can get the crochet thing, and they'll like kind of do drop
Nice.
like the kind of further instructions. But these go like hotcakes. It goes really, really quickly.
Well done,
So
Mark.
yeah, so that's really cool.
Good
Next
button
up,
clicking there.
jolly
Ooh.
good. Best Nicholas Witchall impression ever. What is that in reference to, Tim? Oh, that's covered my face. Let's just leave it there. We of course got Loki, which comes back this week, which is very exciting. However, I've put this picture on because this picture has had a little bit of debate online. Because why do we have someone as, dare I say, thank you. I get the link now, Tim. Sorry, opening to the news. Why do we have somebody who is, dare I say, is as attractive as Tom Hiddleston? That is Tom Hiddleston, isn't it? Have I got the right character? Yes.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom.
Yeah. But they seem to have over photoshopped his face. He looks really, really kind of plasticky.
He does.
Do you get that? It just looks very kind of.
Yeah.
It
I
looks
want
as
to
if.
make it bigger now to really look at his face.
Yeah, it just looks a little bit too like when you've got the zoom setting and when it says touch up, and it gets rid of all creases and you look like a mannequin. Oh yeah, Lydia's, but life is in plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair and dress me anyway. Let's not go on that. So, and then the next thing to share on Geeky News is Bluey, right?
Ooh.
If your parents of, I was about to say young children or not so young children, or just enjoy Bluey,
we watch it. Yeah.
It's been going for 5 years. And I find that just absolutely crazy that we've had 5 years of Bluey, and yet we only have had 3 series, or like 3 and a bit, or 2 and a bit series. And we're still yet to have the rest, but I think they're pacing them out. So yeah, I just thought that was quite funky, really, and that we've had 3 years of that. And I think that's maybe everything. Oh yeah, just one last little thing. Some of us have been mentioning about this in the Methodist world, which is a big thing. We have 3 Generate this weekend, which all of us tonight are going to feature, and we'll be really glad when that weekend happens. But also, we'll be breathing a sigh of relief afterwards, because it takes a lot of energy to do 3 Generate. If you don't know, it's like a youth weekend down in Birmingham NEC, and really exciting to see all the youth and children, but it's the Methodist Church's Children Youth Assembly. So there, should we kind of just drop that out for now? Ciao. And then it's time to introduce our guest for tonight, and so I'm just going to bring her on.
Hey! Lydia!
Hello, Lydia. How are you doing? Oops, I'm going to back. So, should we have done like a Geeky News at the end to finish the Geeky News as well? I'm never sure whether we should or not.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yes, I think in future, yes.
Yes.
Do you want to do it now?
I'm all right. It's too late now. Tim, there is now a Bluey video game coming out soon as well. That's very cool. Anyway, Lydia, how are you doing? You okay?
Yes, good. Thanks. Are you?
We are in. I am. I think. Becca, are you? Is it that way?
I'm so good. Marvelous.
Really good.
Some might say, or moveless.
Yes, I was going to say positively moveless.
Well, I wonder if that's referencing something that's maybe kind of in and around the room, or it's Lydia is utterly fascinated by cows.
It is true.
Good. Very good. That is a little bit of a nod towards what we might be talking about, or some of what we might be talking about a little bit later on. But now we are going to go from one. In fact, we haven't asked you, Lydia, have you been up to anything geeky this week?
Yes, I went to the Popsy clothing equivalent of Comic-Con this weekend, and we went. We
Oh, yes.
250 fans of Popsy gathered together at Drayton Manor to meet the person who invented Popsy, and have like a whole thing, including a comedy act from Angela Barnes, who wears Popsies on every TV appearance and in every show that she does. She did sort of refer to the Popsy movement, because I'm referring to it as a cult. But I'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. No, okay, that's fine. And we've got some pictures a little bit later as well. So if no one's aware of what Popsy is, but you have been up to it this week, and I did ask the question, so that's really cool. We are now going to come though to our quiz. So let's run the titles. Hey. Oh, I thought I nearly pressed it a second time then. So it's me this week for doing the quiz. And have you got a pen and paper, or do you need a pen and paper? You don't have to.
I've got my phone, and I'm not using Google.
Folks, I was going to say, folks, don't cheat.
I've got a holy piece of paper.
Very good. It looks like a teardrop.
It was meant to be a balloon, but it didn't work.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Keep trying. So I've got 5 questions for you. I'm using my phone to read off them. These are the things that have just come to me this week, and I thought I would share them with you. So question number one: what UK race started last Thursday at 9 p.m? What UK race started last Thursday at 9 p.m? And I can give you the exact date, which was the September the 28th.
Can you give us the exact clue as well?
That was the exact clue, wasn't it?
I want a better clue. Like what letter does it begin with?
Lydia, do you also want a clue?
No.
I don't have any clues, so I'm just going to stick with the answer that I've written down.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. So I'm not going to help you, Becca, just like you didn't help me last week. Okay, next question number 2. Which celebrities were in last week's Strictly Come Dancing dance-off? So I'm not giving away the spoilers of who went. I just want to know each of the. I guess I'll tell you what. You can have either one. So there's 2 celebrities in the dance-off, and I'm on about the professional, as in not the professional dancers, the celebrities. Even though I would like to say that some of the professional dancers are more famous than some of the celebrities, because I don't recognise half of them. I'm getting old. So that's question number 2. Which celebrities were in last week's Strictly Dance Off? I'll have one or the other. I don't mind. Extra points for both. Question number 3. In Terry Pratchett's Discworld series, who is Amazing Morris? In Terry Pratchett's Discworld series, who, or dare I say, what is Amazing Morris? Or Maurice, depending on how you pronounce it. Should we go on to question number 4?
Yes.
Oh, it looks very serious, Becca. Question number 4. Who plays Ian Malcolm in the Jurassic Park franchise? So which actor plays Ian Malcolm in the Jurassic Park franchise?
What's his name?
And I think at this moment, I'll just share with folks. The reason why we do this quiz is to help expand our understanding of what geek and being a geek is about and what it can be over. And so all these things we try and kind of explore, the questions and the answers, is just sort of kind of trying to broaden our sense, because we sometimes find that we get narrowed down too much a part of our geekery as kind of, we tend to kind of stereotype what a geek means, and so some of these are hopefully trying to kind of broaden that idea of what being a geek might be. Yeah, I won't share any comments yet either, just to not to kind of give any hints or anything. So the 5th question is this: bridle, butt, and dovetail are all types of what? I'll say that again. Bridle, butt, and dovetail are all types of what? How are we doing? Are we ready? Are we ready to have the answers?
Maybe.
Folks at home, are you ready for the answers?
I'm just trying to decide if my answers are worthy of being on camera, but never mind.
I'll tell you what, Lydia, because you're a guest, then you have the liberty of not having to share. You can just tell us if they're right or wrong. But I am interested. So, folks, we are going to come to question number 1. What UK race started last Thursday at 9 p.m? Shall I give you the answer? Does anybody want to punt at the answer?
Cow herding.
I put a beanbag race.
It's RuPaul's UK Drag Race.
Oh.
Race UK.
Oh.
Sorry,
Well,
I was being a bit sneaky. But I thought UK.
I like it.
I did
That is acceptable.
Yeah, I did say UK race, and so I was like, trying to drop a hint there. Yes, Tim got it right, and he had also said earlier it's a cracking race. So yeah, absolutely. Question number 2: which celebrities were in last week's Strictly Dance Off? So the one that's just gone on Sunday. Any ideas?
No.
Les Dennis and the one who didn't like cows.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they like cows or not, the other person, but Les Dennis was definitely in the dance off, and so was Nikita Kanda. And so I don't know if she doesn't like cows or not, but let's say that she doesn't like cows. Well done. Question number 3: in Toby Pratchett's Discworld series, who or what is Amazing Morris?
Not the tortoise.
A teacher of rodents. Does that count?
I'll let you
teach rodents.
Yeah. So Amazing Morris is a cat and is educated rodents. I'll let you off with that, Becca.
Right.
You managed to grasp a little bit of something there. So question number 4: who plays Ian Malcolm in the Jurassic Park franchise? And I was trying to work out how many films this actor has been in of the Jurassic Park franchise, because I think they've been in at least 4, I think. Do you know what the answer is?
It was either.
Guy with the hat.
No, I had it between Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum.
It is Jeff Goldblum. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, did he take his sunglasses off dramatically, or was he the one that said just because you can doesn't mean that you should? Which is
he definitely does. He definitely does say that.
He does say that one.
Yeah. It's very good. And then finally. Oh, by the way, Sam Neill, Ruben, when he was little, had a little shirt on, a little kind of neckerchief thing, and we shared that, and Sam Neill retweeted it, and so he really liked because it looked a lot like him in Jurassic Park. Anyway, comparing him to a baby. Final question. He's been in 3: Park, World, Evolution, Jurassic Park. No, he's been in one of the original sequels, Tim, because he brings his daughter with it. Is it Jurassic Park 3? So he's been in Jurassic Park 3, then Jurassic Park World, and Jurassic Park Evolution.
Look at this. Quick, a little geeky debate. Anyway. I've not even got a banner for this.
No, 1, 2, and 5. Jurassic Park. Anyway, I'll have a look back over. Or Tim might
correct Next time they're going to wrestle it out live on camera.
I just haven't got IMDb in front of me. bridle, butt, and dovetail are all types of what?
Joinery, carpentry joinery.
Yes, they are. Well done.
If my husband Mark is watching, now I know the answer. He did a woodworking course like the year before last, and I should know those because he told me all about them.
You
So
should.
sorry for
Lydia.
not listening to you, Mark. I'm very sorry.
Did you just do the pastoral nod when he was trying to explain a dovetail?
So how many did you get? How many did you get?
3 out of 5.
Well done.
Thank
One. But
Which one did you get?
technically,
The Strictly one?
Les Dennis. But technically, I did say not the tortoise for number 3, so
I think that's a bit of a
a
stretch.
weirdly specific point.
The
No,
broad right
point,
answer.
yeah.
Let's move on to Geeks Gallery. And folks, if you would like to share part of the Geeks Gallery, you can join our Discord, which is in the blurb above. And it's a cool opportunity to be part of our Discord kind of community. Lydia's part of it. Her husband is also part of it. And various other people are part of the Discord community as well. And we have a Geeks Gallery, which is open up for thank you very much, for people to kind of share. So if we can come to our Geeks Gallery, this is Tom's stuff. And I did write, I was really clever. Oh, there you go. I was about to say I was really clever and wrote something down across the bottom to explain what they were, in case we were kind of going. They are people from a squad of Imperial Navy breachers for JW's kill team. I don't know what JW is. Gaming World, no idea. But they're looking cool because I think we've seen the. Say that again.
God's World.
God's World, yes, of course. No, but these, I think we've seen the progression of these over the last few weeks, and so these are the kind of the finished things with the cool kind of bronzy copper, rusty kind
shiny
of
bit
plate. The foot kind of stuff is done. The plates at the bottom. Forgot what they're called. Anyway, so those are looking pretty cool. We can go on to our next bit of Geeks Gallery. This is actually my wife's kind of creation. So she's done a little felt basket, and you can just see a little bit of a hand warmer that she's been knitting or crocheting. Oh, I'm getting into trouble. It's circular. It's like the circular things. It's like the sock doing. So I think it is knitting, but it, as she calls it, it's like a bit like it's like magic of how it kind of comes together and is created. It is really crazy. This is a bit my share. This is what happened to my 3D printer. I went where I was thinking, it'll be fine. I came back, was like, it's not fine. But this is working on something, hopefully, for our cosplay Halloween special. Cool. So I'm working on something for our cosplay Halloween special.
You made forbidden noodles though, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't eat them, but
No.
So you can actually just where I am. There's just a little bit here that was the original build, and then everything else it had fallen off, and then it's just like, so it went absolutely crazy.
Lydia, what's your go-to cosplay costume? If you were dressing up, what would you wear? If you were banned from cow-related costuming.
I have never cosplayed, but I don't know, like, off the top of my head, probably a character from Stardew.
We will ask you again at the end of the chapter.
Oh no!
You've got half an hour to think of
it. But this is what Lydia was on about earlier, about Popsy and Popsy dresses, and just my complete inexperience. Are you wearing a Popsy dress there?
Yes, that is one of my. Cool. I own 5 cow dresses that they've made, but this one that I'm wearing in the photo is actually my favourite one, because it's just really nice and purple and makes me feel really good. And that's part of the thing with Popsy is I've been able to reclaim some of my confidence and feeling pretty through wearing. I know it's just a dress, but the whole it just helps me to feel comfortable and safe and brave and all those things. So no,
that's really good. No, thank you for sharing that. And that's just your little thing. And so is that the person behind? Is that the person behind?
that's me in the picture, and I actually accidentally dressed as the theme of my table. So each of the tables was named after one of the dress patterns, and I accidentally dressed as my table.
No, that's
So
good.
everyone
Nice.
was like, "You should get a prize for that," and I was like, "Yes, I should." I'm
And I think
waiting for it to materialise.
that's all of the Geeks Gallery pictures for now. Do we want any other photos immediately, or should we start talking and come back to photos, Lydia? I'm looking
Start
for your.
talking and then photos.
Yeah. That's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to go. So yeah, thank you, Lydia, for joining us, and that's kind of a lot of our segment stuff out of the way but opening the way and conversation to talk about your geeky passions and otherwise. So what would you like to share with us tonight?
A little bit of cows and the history of me and cows. Probably a bit of Popsy stuff, and a bit of maybe neurodiversity and mental health stuff related to all of that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you. And we should point out that before we went live, Lydia was there going, I hope people don't just feel as if I'm just kind of showing them like a messy room. This is actually a lot of your kind of draped and purposely placed cow stuff, isn't it, behind you? So if people are kind of going, oh, what's she got over there? I can see, I can identify at least 3, 4, 5 cows, maybe 5 cows, maybe. Yeah. So do share a little bit of how your fascination, your geekiness of cows came about.
So when I was small, as in child small, me and my brother were watching telly one afternoon, and this advert came on the telly, and it was 2 cows sat in 2 trees talking to each other. This advert, I can't remember what the advert was for, but one cow said to the other, "What are you doing, Mo?" And the other one said, oh, "I'm looking for some sort of whatever the product was." Yeah, I don't know. If you Google it, it will probably come up with something, but I haven't done it, so yeah. And so me and my brother started calling each other Moo, or saying to each other, "What are you doing, Mo?" And it sort of caught on from there. So obviously my brother's nickname for me was Moo, and then other people heard of this and thought, oh, we can get Lydia cows, that's a safe present. So the cows started to appear, and I just sort of claimed it. So like when we got married, and I forgot to send you a photo of that, we had cows on our wedding cake, as well as purple colours and everything, because the theme was Cadbury's purple and cows, because why not? Chocolate and cows, what more do you want from a wedding day? You know? So yeah, that's where it all began. And from there, I've spawned a whole collection of cows throughout my house. If you want to show the picture of the cows on my bed, these are just the cuddly cows. These are not the cow ornaments, the cow plates, the cups, the things on my wall, everything else that is in my house. And these are the cows that I own.
That is a lot of cows.
Yeah.
That is a lot of cows.
There are 4 big IKEA square boxes, underbed boxes, under the bed full of cows. And
how many did you count them up? Or is it a competition?
We got to about 200 cuddly cows.
Wow.
So it's crazy. And I have not bought many of these. Like I've probably bought maybe 20 of them, and then the rest of them people just like turn up to see me with a cow, or see a cow somewhere and buy it me and give it to me. And these have all been gifted basically. The one at the top of the screen there, who is behind me here as well, is Rolo, and he was a wedding present from Mark. And Rolo, the pillow cow, has travelled with me pretty much everywhere that I've been, apart from a couple of occasions where I forgot him and was really upset. But anyway, so yeah, Rolo has been pretty much everywhere I have been, and I'll be coming to 3Gen this weekend as well.
Can I ask, is it just the cuddly version of cows, or you do like the real life cows as well, or is there a distinction of cows that you do or don't like?
I like real cows as long as either the farmer is with me or there is a barrier between me and the cow, because cows are big and I don't want to say the word, but they are silly, and they don't know their size. So if they move, they will, and it hurts when they stand on you. I know this.
Yes.
Well,
And
no, actually, it doesn't hurt when they initially stand on you. It hurts when they move their center of gravity. That's when it hurts.
yes.
Oh.
I've got to say that I guess that comes with a warning for viewers,
Yes.
for our community who kind of are interested in cows. Yeah, don't go playing in fields with cows. I grew up kind of in and around cows. My granddad had some cows, and basically, I hadn't realised that they're just like kind of any other kind of almost domesticated animal, that they kind of will run up to you like an excited puppy,
Yes.
like an excited dog. But the problem is they are very big and
they
they don't know
how to stop.
And so I've been chased by a cow before that was just it thought it was playing a game, and it was just kind of galloping up to me. And fortunately my older brother was there to kind of shoo it down and like to kind of stop it in its tracks, basically. But even then, I think, my older brother was putting himself in kind of harm's way as well a bit, because these things just barrel on. They're like, hey, come on. And as soon as you get ahead of them, then even if the front one wants to stop, they just kind of carry on. So just always be careful. And because I think the association as well is that cows tend to think when there's a human coming, it's food time. And so they'll kind of go, oh, food's up, and so they'll kind of herd all the way, herd all the way, gallop. What's the right word for cows moving towards? Move. Yes, very good.
They move.
So yeah, that's first kind of geek warning.
Disclaimer.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been to a couple of farms where they've let me go and cuddle their cows. So there was one farm just outside Doncaster where I went on a cow cuddling experience and got really close and actually cuddled the cow. It was amazing. And then there was another farm just outside Beverley where they fed the cows and the cows laid down, and you can go and lay with them in the barn, minding the obvious cow.
And is that an experience as well?
Yes.
I've never heard of that before. Wow, that's crazy.
I also
but a big shout out to Beverley though.
Yeah.
So go on.
On that same day, I took a Highland cow calf, but it was more like a teenager by that point, for a walk. And for the first part of the walk, the farmer had to have cow treats in its hand to get it to walk, and it got halfway round, realised it was heading home, and then got spooked by a kite. And I had the halter in my hand, and I remember the safety briefing, which was basically, if the cow runs, you let go of the harness because it will go. So I remembered that, thankfully, but then I was like screaming because the rest of the people, because there was two other couples walking these other cows, were in front of us, and my cow just went yum past them all. Complete cownage.
Oh dear.
We got it back and
I'm loving the puns today.
Yeah, and then we got it back and it behaved itself, and I was able to brush it, and it was lovely. But then again, because it's a Highland cow, it had big horns, and it just wanted to cuddle into me, but forgot it had horns, so I got sort of jabbed in the ribs. But they did again warn me to move if they did that, and I was too busy like cuddling to remember horns.
Yeah,
horns are dangerous.
Kids.
But yeah, so that's the cow thing.
Yeah.
I just find cows are my happy place. So yeah.
Well, what's going on then? Why did they make you happy? What is?
I just think they're a very beautiful and soulful creature, and they're really, when they're not running around and being a mischievous teenager or trying to like jab you in the ribs, I just think they're really majestic and calming for me, especially like if I'm brushing them, and you can like, because cows' skin's really thick, you get to really like, it's a real sensory thing. So I think it comes well with my neurodiversity as well, the sensory. And also, this is going to sound a bit weird, if you're up close to a cow and they breathe on you, it's like warm, sweet hay smell. It's not a bad smell. It's just really like it's almost like wrapping you in a blanket of good smell, if you know what I mean. Obviously, I'd never wrap myself in a blanket of bad smell. I don't know why I
No,
said
no,
that. But never mind.
no. You
Fine.
painted a picture. You painted a picture. I think you're right though. As I said, my granddad had cows, and I think I feel as if like horses have had a good press, and they've kind of got like publicity. And actually, I feel exactly the same way about horses and cows. They can be quite majestic, and just that kind of sheer size of them, and kind of the muscle, or kind of they're just there, and they're really big beasts. And I've got to say the thing for me, and it is like a texture thing, is when if you've got oats or if you've got kind of hay to feed them, their tongue is so kind of like it's quite rough, and you've got to be careful. A bit like a cat's tongue, but obviously on a much bigger scale. But the one thing for me though that I always kind of get wound up about is about kind of identifying boy cows and girl cows. And I have been I've been in Zoom in kind of like when we're kind of during COVID, and my children are kind of being taught from the front at school. It's a nice school, bless them, but they get cows wrong because they kind of went, a girl cow has it doesn't have horns, and a boy cow has horns. And I kind of go, that's wrong. That's not all. That's not the case. I mean, just biology 101. You've got to look below. And if it's got udders, then it's a girl cow. If it's got its other bits, then it's not a girl cow. And it just really wears me up. And it's also like, I know we've mentioned Bluey, but like on programs such as Hey Dougie and things like that, where grown-up ducks are yellow, and I'm kind of going, no, those are ducklings. They get feathers, they get a bit ugly, and then they change. There are yellow
song
ducks.
about that.
Yes, exactly. There's a story as well about the ugly duck. Oh no, wait. But do you know what I mean? It just frustrates me that we've got this kind of concept of what kind of cows are and bulls are, what kind of ducks are and ducklings, and it's just like, no, that's wrong. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox and move on.
Oh, we're all about the soapbox, surely.
I refer to Rolo as a he, but I don't know what he is because he neither has parts nor udders. So I've just chosen to believe that he's the he.
And that's absolutely fine. And the other little bit as well is that kind of cows don't naturally they don't just kind of produce milk. They've got to have calves first. Just like any other kind of animal, they don't just kind of naturally just produce milk.
And interestingly, cows are pregnant for 9 months like humans, and that the breeding cycle of cows is very much engineered by farmers to be at the prime time. And I think some of it goes back to history as well. I think my friend Lizzie is watching, and I'm misquoting what she told me the other week. Like when cows are generally born in between spring and summer, because you can't make cheese during winter or something. So in olden days, you could only make cheese at a certain time of year. So the cows' breeding cycles are engineered so they've still got milk or cheese.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow, that's very cool.
I'm very sorry if I've completely got that wrong, Lizzie, but you did explain it to me and it was fascinating.
Well,
and I've just
Lizzie, make a comment, correct your friend if she's wrong. But no, thank you for sharing about cows. I think they're majestic animals. They're fantastic.
You can I get a sense of like you look into their eyes and they're telling you all sorts of things, and you can see into their soul. It's just lovely. Just a real moment of connection.
Oh, Lizzie. Ciao. Cheese used to be seasonal, made in summer when milk was plentiful, and eaten in winter when cows were pregnant and had less food. So made little milk, of course. Yeah.
Thank you, Lizzie. And Lizzie Butterworth. That's a perfect name for someone to have that fact.
So don't take the mick out of our people commenting, Becca.
That's perfect. If that was a made-up name, it would be brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you, Lizzie.
No, thank you, Lizzie. Thank you. Should we move on to your next suggestion, your next geekiness thing?
Yeah. The bear.
Should we bring that up for you?
I know I'm telling you to do things in the different order that I've sent you them, but never mind.
No, it's absolutely fine. So here's your bear.
So on Friday night last week, I got to the hotel and had tea, and then went back to my room. And I was like, what do I do? I had taken a needle felting kit with me, and just really felt the need to sit and stab something for an hour or two. So this is one of the new mini kits you can get from the makers, where you can make a tiny friend. And they've got ducks, they've got owls, they've got bears, they've got all sorts of things apart from cows. I think they've even got a sheep, but no cow. So
what's the company called?
The Makers, with two S's at the end.
Cool.
Yeah. So I call this my stabby therapy. So when I'm needing to do something with my hands that isn't eating or playing endless video games on my phone, not that's possibly anything wrong with that. When I need to do something else mindfully, I'll sit and get this out. I've made a couple of years ago, in the first year of the pandemic, I made 40 hearts and sent them to friends to let them know that I was thinking of them. So that was my Lent challenge that year. Really and cool. This is one of the kits that I've made. I've obviously made cow. I've got all the cow sets and everything, you know. But I passed this on to Cherish, who runs Popsy, because she does a live every Sunday night with sneak peeks, and she has a chat with everyone and stuff. And she's always saying, "Bear with, I'll just get the next dress." So I thought it was really cute to just give her a bear. So I passed her that with a little card saying thank you for all the times through different dresses that you've helped me to feel pretty again. And I told her that on the day as well, and it was really just nice to meet her and, you know, get to tell her what a difference she's made. So I've probably got a lot more dresses than I probably should have in this materialistic world, but they just make me happy, and they give me some sort of confidence in, like, I used to wear makeup as a sort of mask to help me feel confident, and I'm sure that I'm not alone in that. And now the dresses are that sort of mask, and I know that if I feel happy and confident in myself, that will come across. And it doesn't always happen, but on the days where I'm wearing my favourite Popsies, I definitely feel the best. So yeah, there's
really good.
about the way that Popsy have built up a community around the dresses as well. So they do a lot of body positivity. They had a confidence coach on Saturday come and give us some hints and tips, and she actually made a lot more sense than what I've been hearing in church recently, to be honest. And I actually, when she was sat there talking, saying things like, you're okay to have boundaries. Boundaries are not a harsh thing, but a way of protecting everybody, not just yourself. The way she was talking, I actually felt more connected to God than I have in a while. And she didn't mention God, and I have no idea whether she has faith or not, but there was something just wonderful about a room full of people coming together for one purpose, all supporting one another. Like, I walked in, and the lady who was the admin for the group chat that we're in met me at the door. She said, let me know when you're half an hour away, and I'll stand and wait for you. And she met me at the door. She showed me exactly where to go. She told me where in the building everything was, where all the key points were, like toilets and drink stations and stuff. And I just felt like, from the moment I arrived, just so wonderfully welcome and accepted and loved and cared for in a way that in some other places I haven't recently. So I through that felt like I encountered God, just through people's love and care. So
and geekery about dresses and sharedness, and
Thank you, Lydia. That's really powerful, really, isn't it? About kind of just being able to connect on a human level, basic kind of, you know, need and just and love, and just that's really sweet. Just of how kind of just to be valued and kind of be kind of be shown worth and kind of attention, just can really make an experience, can't it? So thank you. Is there anything else about the Popsy dresses themselves or the community of the day, or is there anything kind of they don't have to be? I was just wondering.
I can't think of anything else to say right now, but if my brain takes me there again, I might just bleat it out anyway.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But I think it's when you have those encounters, isn't it? And just as you mentioned about cows as well, is that there can be some moments where in the profound, or just in like the ability to gaze or to just be. So rather than having to focus about doing X, Y, or Z, or just, you can just be in a place and get a sense of God or get a sense of something more. And I just like the fact that you were explaining kind of cows and what they might be thinking and about how they're participating in the universe. And it's just like, I get that kind of just that presence of not necessarily just cows, but just being somewhere and just resonating, I guess, with the things around you. And I imagine kind of the Popsy community, there's going to be a lot of other people coming together, wanting that community and just kind of being really good examples of it, and because it's a shame, isn't it, where we unfortunately know a lot of examples of bad community and times when communities get it really wrong. And so it can actually be really uplifting when you kind of go, oh, these are my people, or oh, this is it, or even and I think, I don't know if you kind of mentioned this about it, when he kind of goes, this is a safe place. And that means a safe place to be, a safe place to kind of feel that I can kind of not let my guard down, but feel comfortable with just being, rather than feeling as if you have to put on a show or put on the defensive. So
it's so simple, isn't it? It's just for an item of clothing to draw people together. And that's not all they did. They then, they had a comedian, didn't they? And you had dinner, but that wasn't the reason you went. It was because of a shared love of one thing. And that, I think there's something in that simplicity of, this is what we stand for, this is what our purpose is. It doesn't then define or take over the rest of your life, but something about the intentional gathering because of a shared passion is really, really interesting.
Yeah. So I've previous to this organised little meetups in York Designer Outlet for people in this area, in my area of York, to come together at Popsy wearers. And the first time I organised it, I was like, what? Like, I got to the Designer Outlet food court and I was like, what if no one turns up? What am I doing? And I was like, but if no one turns up, I'll just go to the works and it'll be fine. But then, like, people arrived, and we had to get a massive table of, I think, 20 of us in the end, and we were just there. Nice. We were there initially because of the dresses, but then we realised we have so much in common with each other, and even on the table of 10 of us, the feminist table at the event on Saturday, we quickly realised that all of us on that table are neurodivergent. So we were having conversations about school, because some of them are teachers, some of them have kids in school who are also neurodivergent, and talking about the ways in which we're all struggling with similar things. Like, someone said to me, oh, you're struggling to focus because of everything going on around you, and someone's just trying to get your attention and you've completely blanked them. That's exactly what my husband does. It was really interesting, and I wonder how many people who like Popsy are neurodivergent, how that work. I'd love to do some statistical work on what it is that, apart from the dresses, brings us together. Like, what's the community made up of, and what makes it work so well. But obviously I don't have access to that information. It'd be lovely to break it down somehow. Though. Yeah, so I've been on a journey for the last sort of few years, probably since the start of lockdown, of realizing that part of my identity is being disabled and neurodivergent, and probably some people would say those are the same thing. They wouldn't need to separate out the two. But like, and it's been really hard in places to sort of come to terms with that sort of stuff and realize that I'm not able to do things other people do, but also my strengths are in different directions as well. I'm like really creative. Someone will say, "Oh, we'll do a messy church on the Good Samaritan," and my brain will just like almost like a drop down the menu of ideas that we could do. You know what I mean? But there are things that I do struggle with, but I'm not alone in that. Part of the last few years, my disability journey is finding my tribe and finding people who are like me. And again, I'm pointing out Lizzie here. Lizzie has been a massive part, a massive positive influence on my disability journey, helping me to understand why my brain works the way it does, helping me to figure out that the things that I struggle with are actually quite normal in terms of the conditions that I have, and other people experience the similar things, helping me to see, to not be ashamed, to not shame myself, to be more positive and gentle to myself. Not that some days I'm really hard on myself, and I'm sure Becca will remember our conversation at Greenbelt about that. But like finding my tribe and finding my people has been a massive part of this last few years of coming to terms with my identity and finding my identity and reclaiming it as well. And I'm glad that I've only been on the Discord a couple of weeks and only watched a couple of these streams, but again I feel like I found my tribe here, so I just wanted to jump on and say hi. I'm here.
Hi, welcome to the tribe.
Welcome. I think this is, and I wonder whether you've kind of you've put your finger on something there about kind of from COVID and lockdowns, where we've had to be forced to be separate from everybody and not within our bubble or whatever language we did used back then, back so many years ago. But actually, but do you know what I mean? It forced us to be separate. And whilst we found ways of networking, of Zoom, of social media, and even in the last few months, it feels as if we've kind of, since Twitter kind of changed into X and the kind of the Elon Musk saga and all that kind of stuff, and we've kind of got Blue Sky, Threads, and all these, Mastodon and things like this. We've got all these kind of apps that are there to try and connect people. But actually, I think as a society, I think we've kicked back against that a little bit, and we're kind of going, actually, we want proper connections, not just
small numbers.
Yeah, and rather than kind of going for like, oh, hello, this is everyone on my following. Actually, it's about kind of saying, actually, I want real connections here, and whether that is over an app or otherwise, it doesn't matter, because I think we can find our communities in different ways of streaming or otherwise. But I think, so Tim would say connections, a little Methodist word there.
Geekery.
Doth my cap to you, Tim. But we can, can't we? We can find these kind of meaningful connections, kind of amongst kind of this broader landscape, and I think. And I think even, through the intense and extreme times of COVID, I think it's made a lot of people to kind of, dare I say, come face to face with kind of feelings of frustrations of self and otherwise, and it's the kind of the journey that we're, not to belittle anything that you said, Lydia, but I think as a nation, and we're kind of more aware of the diversity and neurodivergency as well, and hopefully that is educating people a bit more, because I think we've still got work to do for that. But I think I'm hoping anyway that this is kind of going to open up a bit so we can be a bit more accepting of others and a bit more accepting of kind of our communities and finding our tribe and being comfortable in those places, just as you shared with the Popsy group, of just finding your place and kind of going, yeah, actually, you know what, this is a little bit, and the Christian in me says, this is a little glimpse of heaven. This is a little kind of opportunity to belong and kind of, yeah, to gather and it to be a special place. And again, I would say like a thin place, a heavenly kind of moment, which you can kind of, uplift you, especially through the hard times.
Yeah, there's a danger, I think, in today's world of being so bogged down by the bad stuff and like seeing all the need and going, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? How am I going to help? And I keep coming back to the story of the little boy on the beach where there's been a storm and there's a lot of starfish that have like swept up on the beach, and he's getting one or two and throwing them back in the sea trying to save them, and someone else comes up and says, look, what are you doing? You're not going to save them all. And he just says, I'm making a difference for this one, and throws another one back in. And I think rather than trying to think of the big picture all the time, if we narrow it down to the little ways we in our little corner of the world or in our own little ways can be the light or make a difference, be kind, model good treatment of people, I think that's the way that we can change what's happening and also stay mentally well, and not be completely swamped by everything, I think. And I'm preaching to myself here as well as everyone else.
No, thank you. Thank you. We've kind of nearly come to our hour. We do try and keep it to an hour. I know that we sometimes run over slightly where we get carried away. But thank you, Lydia. Thank you for sharing and being so honest and open with us. And thank you for sharing a bit about your cow passions. That I should mention. For me, a lasting memory was that my granddad had cows, as I've said many times, but he always threatened and to sort of say that he would get me on a cow and get me to ride down to the nearest roundabout and back again.
I'd love to ride a cow. I really would. I'm sorry.
Well, not 6'2" and a bit of me now. When I was little, he was always kind of go on, get on the cow. We can walk you down. But I never did, and I've got to say it was a bit of a regret. And when he passed away, and when we went back to the farm, my older brother's there going, so are we going to get you on a cow now? And I was there going, no, we don't want to do this here. That's kind of cows I've always had an affinity with. But yes, folks, we're coming to an end. We need to remind you about the Discord. I think we've discontinued the WhatsApp. So it's just the Discord community stuff. And yeah, please just come along and join. And if you kind of want to share stuff, then we'll kind of post it up here. And if you're watching a little bit later, then that's another place where you can kind of comment and be part of the community outside of this live moment. And it would be good to see you. However, I've got to say, next week we are away because I've got a church meeting. Becca, you're busy as well, aren't you? So
I'm at the Eden Project.
You're at the Eden. Oh, that sounds very cool. Well, enjoy that. Then we're going to be back again, and then we're good. So we need a guest. So if someone's thinking, "Oh, I could come on and share about my things," then please get in touch.
When I went to the Eden Project, Becca, there was a cow in. You need to find it if it's still there.
I will find the cow and I will say, I'm friends with Lydia. Do you remember your encounter?
So next week there isn't a Faith in Geekery, then there is a Faith in Geekery, and then I'm sorry, basically it's half term, so I'm actually off, and so it's half term for us, and then we're back again for our cosplay Halloween special, and I think that's cosplay special that just so happens to be on Halloween. Is that fair enough to say?
We're dressing up. I don't care. We're dressing up.
We're it's our cosplay special. So if anybody wants to join us on the screen,
she's got it. Look, I see that. Lydia, go.
Supergirl, because
Yay!
Supergirl, fantastic.
awesome, and yeah. So
We
yeah,
will accept Supergirl. Are we having any guests for that one, or are we having anybody that wants to dress up, Mark?
I think anybody that wants to dress up
Anybody
in
wants to dress up.
I mean, I'm not picky, so it's fine. Yeah, so
Excellent.
so next week, no Faith in Geekery. Then there is
Yeah.
Faith in Geekery. We need a guest. Then so we're basically off on.
it's
Yeah.
like Ross and Rachel all over again.
It is. There we go.
And
We
that
are
is
the
another
Ross and
geekiness
Rachel
there.
of live streams.
Yes.
Not-
well,
not
all-
Mark
no.
and
Yeah.
No.
No.
Just to be very clear.
Yes. And then Tim's put enjoy 3 general.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're going to be on a break next
Yeah.
week, then on, then off, then on. I'm really glad it's so straightforward.
Is it?
Sorry, folks. There's just a couple of bits in our diary which, didn't really work. So this is hopefully going to ease out throughout the rest of this season. Do we call it a season? I did last time. Becca, is there anything else to say? We're going to say farewell to Lydia and drop Lydia off. Thank you again, Lydia,
Right.
for joining. Thank you for sharing about your
I can't
passions.
wait. Oh, I can't do it.
And
will be so bad.
and we'll see you at 3 Gen. So we're going to drop you off. Bye bye. Becca, anything last to finish on or otherwise?
I don't think so, other than if you watch us and you think, actually, they're a bit weird, but I quite like it, join our tribe, because everybody is welcome and everything is geeky, has geek potential, and we will
Yeah.
just celebrate it with you. So everyone is welcome. Come be part of us.
Yeah. Thank you. That is really good to finish on. So thank you, folks. Thank you for watching. If you're kind of catching us later, then please do join the Discord and comment there as well. And it's just been a fab night. And once again, thank you to
Lovely.
Lydia.
Yeah, thanks, Lydia.
Just remember, folks, to geek safe, especially around cows.